and practicing it. So once we are awakened, I think in many fields it has changed, and I'm one of the example in our society, the change as a change. So from the monastic community, I'm the biggest change that you can witness. And Rima Boini, all of us who are sitting on the dais right now, we are the biggest example or the proof of the change itself. So change is definitely there, but as you say, what can we do? So I think what we really need to do in terms of our constitutional, the law and everything, the changes has been made. Only thing is to implement it, to believe in it. The person who is supposed to enforce the law of equality, a very fair social justice in the society, the enforcement is the main part. So the responsible people needs to really be clear in their mind that equal rights are what we are supposed to practice, not in just in terms of writing or, as a lip service. So, and then the rest, I think we women, we sisters are quite capable of exhibiting that, and we have done it. So
right. When I was watching the documentary shown on 14th, which I actually keep on saying that it's actually a biopic. It's a lovely, everybody should watch it. The message that came towards the end of that documentary, where you talk about, there are scars because of violence, right? But you have to learn to forgive. And that will actually help you in the healing process. So, one more question before I move on to Rima is, yes, like you said, Nepal has a lot of very positive laws on gender equality, and especially pro-women, inclusion. Nepal is one of the very few countries where same-sex marriage is also allowed. So we have all these things. So, but there's problems in implementation, right? But when we look at the film industry, the entertainment, my question, Annie, is, because this is something which gives pleasure, enjoyment, and people, it also reflects the current societal structure of a country, right? So how can the kind of message that your documentary has been able to give can be infiltrated through the film industry? That was the question I wanted to.
See, when hero can be both male and female in equal level. As a in my documentary film, I think I play as the hero who really shows a determination of a woman's mind, or let's not really say, I actually don't like this. When I address as a man and a woman as a difference itself is a discrimination from myself. So I think whoever wishes to achieve something, we are all capable of materializing that achievement. So that's what I believe in. It's just, in olden days, probably our culture was structured in a way that men seemed to be more superior because of their physical strength that they contribute in earnings or the responsibilities that they need to fulfill was more of an external world, going out, and then the women's part was more to stay home, to nurture the children, and to keep the warmth of the family intact. So probably that's why, or maybe we women actually spoiled the man, thinking that, oh, poor man, you have been out in the sun, come back, and the women pampers the man, making him feel so good, like when outside the world, man has to deal with another man, probably sometimes the ego clash, sometimes crashes their ego. It's the women who, repairs that ego crash, We make them feel so special to the point that they feel like, yes, I am the one, So probably this, since it has been taking place since long time, maybe we are to be blamed. But giving love is something so beautiful, so we should not compromise on that. But all we need to do is stop taking shits. That's all.
That's a...
And the gender issue, I think, is not only, as I said earlier, it's a global issue.
Absolutely.
The film industry itself, whether that is in the Hollywood or Bollywood or in Nepali film industry, women seems to be always paid less. In fact, the women actually are the most important ingredient in the film. Without their beauty and sensitivity and all the sensual expression, that film is not possible without women. So as equally men, without men it is not possible. So I think the discriminative attitude itself is the issue that we
Because this session is focused on gender stereotyping, and it's because it's required. And as Ani has said repeatedly, it's not only in Nepal, it's all over the world. Maybe the degree and the style is different in different places. So how do you see gender stereotyping and reflection of women in the film industry and the entertainment world of Nepal?
First of all, thank you so much. Can you guys hear me? Yeah? Can you now?
I think they don't. Yeah.
I'm sure you can hear me now. I am so delighted to be part of this discussion panel, first of all. I was so delighted to know that this kind of discussion is happening regarding film industry, because trust me, it barely happens here in Nepal. And one more correction, I'm not a comedian, how I wish I was so that I could bring smiles on people's face, but I am the producer of a comedy show, please.
May I interrupt for a while? Can you hear? He's one of the jury. Please have a seat.
We continue.
That's all right, that's completely fine.
Nabil Bank,
Something I would
Sangai
love to
Aki,
do in the future if I can. I'll try though.
Bravo
Talking about
Bank,
Nepali film, since
the
looks
reason
like I'm
for
the
your
only one
success.
representing Nepali films
32
right
जडीबुटी
here,
युक्त कपाल झर्न नदिने नयाँ कपाल उमार्ने स्वीटी जडीबुटी
I've been in the
आयुर्वेदिक हेयर
industry
ऑयल
for more than a decade now. I've acted in more 9 films so far, though the numbers are less, but I have the experience of entertainment industry for quite a while now.
Absolutely.
Talking about art, though in general understanding, art is considered to be a part of entertainment. It should entertain, but then trust me, art can do much more than just entertain. It can aware people, it can inspire people, it can educate people,
Absolutely.
but of course in an entertaining way. So when we talk about our films, it does reflect our society, our art, our culture, our progress of civilization somehow. Talking about Nepali films, since ours has always been a patriarchal society where men takes the lead, be it being making decisions or choices, not just for himself, but for the rest of the people in the family. It is exactly portrayed in the movies as well. Whereas the women, in the other hand, are presented as the supporting characters, where they are supposed to keep the balance, keep everyone happy, regardless of their own dreams and desires. So somehow, most of the 80-90% of the Nepali films has been made on these stories of male, where a male character is a protagonist, and females are supposedly doing the supporting characters in the films. So usually, men in our films are always presented as the most desirable, good-looking smartest and strongest people, whereas women, in the other hand, are presented as the epitome of sacrifice, keeping everyone happy, keeping the balance, and there are many more issues to talk about. I'm sure we'll definitely talk about that. When talking about the role of women in Nepali films, I don't know why, honestly speaking, for a very long time, I had no clue about how I should be reacting to many things. I really had to educate myself, and I really had to learn things along the way to realize that many things which have been in the practice are not right. For example, I thought it was obvious and all right to get ready and wait for hours and hours on the set till the male actor showed up. He took all his time, and we had to just wait for hours and hours. I thought it was all right. I thought it was all right to get paid lesser than our male co-actors.
Absolutely.
But eventually, I got to know that it was not.
No, not at all.
But then, even when we talk about the screen time, it is based on gender, trust me, when it comes to Nepal. We, women, usually get a shorter or lesser screen time than male. And even that short period of time, even during that short appearances, we are somehow used as the glam factor so that we can attract the male gaze. By glam factor, I mean to say we are somehow used just as the supporting characters to make the male protagonist more powerful, or we are used somehow in an erotic way, no matter whether we are comfortable or not. It is such a surprising thing, and the whole audience has been accepting it in such a general way that it has somehow become a mandatory thing to have one item number in every film. That's really surprising. There is a lot more to talk about, trust me.
Thank you, Rima. Actually, you've brought such wonderful points over here, Dil and I were looking at each other, and, we do feel this, but the way you brought it out, it's so important. And I think that's the reason why I'm so happy, and I actually agreed to do this session. I actually requested KP, Pathak ji, and he was very keen also, and NIFF to actually have one session on this, where we could talk about this. Because, see, we've reached a stage on Earth where human civilization is known to be reached a peak, But this is what we are facing even now, Wonderful, talented actors and actresses like you. Why should you actually be catering to making, male figure more powerful? Because that's what the concept is of the producers and the directors, right? So, I mean, how do you... I'm very thankful that you brought these issues up, because this will also be further point for us to talk about. Right. Before I move on to another personality today, I just wanted to ask you, how can this be changed? I'm sure you contemplate on it a bit. How can this be changed?
I think when it comes to social changes, no matter whatever has been written on legal papers, it takes time. It's not going to happen overnight, I believe that.
Absolutely.
We are making changes, but we have not changed at all, trust me. We still are making movies where, as I mentioned earlier, where an item number has been a compulsory fit, where we are paid lesser than male. Trust me, I have already done 9 films and I have never got pay parity. And I'm sure all the female colleagues that I know from my industry, none of them have been paid equal as the male counterparts. But then, for the change, I think it has to come from a realization, first of all, as Ani earlier mentioned, that we have been practicing many things and we hold on to many things that we have seen, heard, or learned while growing up.
Yes.
And we subconsciously tend to practice that in our behavior. So it has to come from a realization, first of all. Second thing is, the makers themselves I believe, has to have the consciousness about what they are portraying on screen. Because, let's get back to the item number. The item number has become such a mandatory thing in Nepali films that these days, it is not just shot or being presented in the films, but the scariest part of it is that an item number with a kind of flirty and slutty lyrics is accessible to audiences of all age group, and it is being repeatedly played during a family functions and celebration of all kind, mass celebration. So that is such a concerning thing, I believe. Change, I think this is a minor change that we are trying to make out here by talking openly about it.
Absolutely.
And I think it has to come from an individual realization, and people who are in the position to represent the society on screen when it comes to cinema, as films are the most versatile medium of storytelling, they really have to be careful about what they are showing on screen, because that is not just having an impact on society or influencing young generation, because we definitely have come across sad news like young boys stalking females, believing that they will eventually fall in love with them, and resonating with film dialogues like "Mero bhayena bhane aru kasaiको हुँदैन, if not mine then I'll not."
Nobody.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense at all. And the scariest thing, it can invite crimes. It can result to crimes. I think when we talk about the change has to come from individual realization. It has to come from the realization of responsibility among people who are making films. And it has to come from overall, somehow we can influence society to upgrade in a way where we are being more responsible and we are choosing sensible topics so that we can not just entertain, but also aware, inspire, influence, and educate people.
Thank you, Rima. I think that deserves a clapping. You know, one thing you said is absolutely true. You know, the lyrics that are used, even in the songs, and the dialogues of the movies. And these are repeated in social cultures, households, and people actually, children grow up believing that that's the right thing to do. And actually, that's not what we want them to do, you know? So I think from your, what you just said, one of the lessons learned is for script writers to be careful and, you know, like how to make sure that this becomes, goes against gender stereotyping and becoming more gender friendly and social friendly, you know? But the problem is, first of all, people need to understand that there's a need to do this, you know. So I wish there are more people like you in the film industry. I'm sure there'll be a change. You are going to be the change. Now, first of all, I want to welcome Karin. Karin Angela is from Germany. I introduced you already earlier. And just to very quickly mention while you are here also, she's an actor, director, model, and she's, as I said earlier to the audience, that she may not be very well known in Nepal, but she's very well known in Germany and other countries internationally. She's done films in UK, which has been very successful, and she's here today to share with us. Now, because you've just come, I'll just let you listen one more speaker before putting you on the frying pan, sort of. So I want to move to Sri Lanka now. We've listened to two from Nepal. So Dil. Dil, again, as I said earlier, is a wonderful international investigative journalist. And she's done stories, amazing stories. You should Google and read it, you know. But I want to ask, you know, Sri Lanka has been a troubled country, lots of wars, civil wars, and now this very, very misfortunate financial crisis. So how's the film industry in Sri Lanka, and how does it go about bringing out gender issues, social issues, issues of war-ridden people?
Thank you. I hope everyone can hear me. So I just want to resonate some of the things that the speakers before me shared about storytelling, and that the fact that the issue of stereotyping becomes a concern because it is inauthentic. I think really it's troubling, because if you have the stereotypes, the binaries, our stories are going to be very slanted. And it is really not a true depiction of all of us, our countries, our communities, and the issues that we would want to see in cinema. So Sri Lankan cinema, it's like, dates back to 1947, and you said it right. So it holds true of Sri Lanka. So you have the commercial film industry, and then you also have the more artistic approach to it, and then you also have the documentaries, and you also have the Indian cinema in Sri Lanka, right? So this is, you just need to capture all these threads to understand the influence on people and the mindsets, and who is influencing the people and the industry as of now. About the reflections, Namrata, so it's like a campfire, right? We are gathered here, this is a campfire, so we consistently lose the female voice, or the alternate voice, not just female, right? The portrayal is also, it used to be the stereotypical, the good woman, the one who does everything, the selfless, caring woman of South Asia maybe, or globally too. We have those such typical roles to play, and in that there has been a shift as well. I just found this very interesting quote by a film critic, and says, morally mediocre, portrayed as victims, or as dangerous. Now that's very interesting, right? Or as dangerous. The typical wife, or the surviving, suffering mother, or the sexual object. So this is like the recipe, right, for the movie making. And gender, desire, sexuality are things that were not initially spoken about. So you had that original formula. Now it has evolved into a better formula in many ways, I would say. The industry has crashed, as you said, because of the conflict. The conflict led, I just want to mention this because maybe you're not very familiar with the Sri Lankan movie industry. When you have a conflict, among the things that you lose would be your arts, forms of art, and your connectivity, the ability to connect the North and the South. So there was a northern movie industry, a Tamil movie industry. So predominantly when I speak, I would probably know better of the singular dominant media narrative, which is that same formula, but the Tamil movie, formula is now very different. But we lost theaters in 1983 due to violence. There was torching of cinema halls. So what you lose would be the narratives of those people, and we have lost it. We have never regained it. And I think that's very important to note, because this is how you lose the cultural expression, the cinematic expression of a community, living in Sri Lanka for the longest possible time, but we have never really done it justice or supported it to come back. But there is always hope. There is a new crop of women, and since the 60s, I wouldn't call the movies feminist, but women-centered, women-centric, transformative storytelling has happened. These women are big household names. They have won international awards, from Dr. Sumitra Piris to a number of other women who have made the Sri Lankan woman's story a different one. And not just the crying housewife or the mother permanent, but the woman who is also the shiro. We have heroes, then you also have shiros. I'm borrowing a word from Kamala Basin, right? So there are shiros, it's credited to her. So there are shiros, and about victimhood, about women who are single mothers, of handling pregnancy and all that. All these things happened when women got into the industry and started telling stories, centering, creating women as the central characters. So that has happened. It's not perfect. It's absolute work in progress, because industry is obviously male dominant, but these women, and also some men. Sri Lanka has a crop of young men who have also become the face of issues of struggle, of survival, of conflict, and transformation. A long answer for you.
Thank you, Dil. I think, yes, thank you very much. I think Dil has brought out one very important point for the Nepali film industry to look into, is the shiros coming up, and also women making stories on strong women, movie of Ani, there's so many women who have done excellent work in Nepal now, So stories focus around that, and maybe start producing such which can change the thing. But of course, in that, and I think men should be part of it also, of the change, you know. So men can start taking different roles too, you know, because this is for the future of our generation too, right? Thank you. Del, I think a very important point has come there. Let's go to Germany now, before we come back to Nepal. Karen, it's lovely to have you here. And you've listened to the issues from Nepal and Sri Lanka. I wonder if certain issues are similar in Germany or different.
It sounds like you're talking about Germany. As I don't know how much I can add now. It's definitely, we have the same problems. For a long time, it's very, very slowly changing, really very, very slowly. And it takes
Can the sound be heard? Sound?
Do you want to use this?
But it's on. Oh, no, maybe now?
Yes.
Okay, I thought you put it on. Okay, sorry. Right. It will take a long. It's gonna be a long way. It sounds like it's everywhere the same. We had two kind of studies about this topic. One approximately 20, 25 years ago. The first one, and till now, it's really it didn't change a lot. It really didn't. But we can observe that the moment a woman is taking responsibility as a screenwriter, director, the more women are also in the play or in the film, and everything changes, mostly to the better, especially concerning the topics. Yeah. So women, especially on TV. Women are always, until mid-30s, they are women, and it's kind of equal, even, as a matter of fact, male and female. But they are always young, very, very slim, over slim, and always only like they are acting as a partner, being in a relationship, nothing more. Yeah. So while the men, they have nice jobs, are in leaderships, have something to tell. Yeah, women are just there to talk about the men.
That's exactly what Rima said.
And I don't know if you heard that. I found it quite interesting. I didn't know before. There's a Bechdel test. The woman, she's a cartoonist, and she actually put it into a cartoon. Now it's a Bechdel test, and it's like if you have, it doesn't matter in which work, when there are two women and when they are not, if they talk about men, then this is 57% belong to the films or to the plays that are definitely male-dominated. Yeah, so there's nothing about the women. It's just adding to the men, nothing more. Yeah. If you are older than 35, it's decreasing, declining. For women, less women, less women. 50 is the worst age to get any role anywhere. And after 60, it starts slightly to get a bit better. Yeah, so there's a change. Gladly, I'm glad that men also they support us actually now. Yes, so they work on thinking more, also in ways of what could she say. Yeah, so what could we give her to act, not just to help a male to be brilliant. So no, and now I lost what I wanted to say. Anyway, it's they start to write also stories for men, and there are men. They really support us and are writing. We know there are already some films that are cast only, that's female cast. And we have also here in the competition great films only with women. So I'm very glad for every man, every screenwriter who think also out of the corner about the roles of women.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Karen. So it's very interesting, isn't it? We are talking about Nepal, Sri Lanka, and Germany. Germany is supposed to be way ahead in, advancement of establishing, and having gender and social issues ingrained into the country and implemented well. But when it comes to the industry which actually talks about current issues, it doesn't seem like there's much difference,
Yeah.
including the pay scale and all. But on the other hand, what I also think I heard you talk about is also the audience's perception, and the people who go to the movies, watch theaters and all, like their perception on what they want to see and whom they feel are the powerful structures. Okay? That is another point that I think we need to reflect on.
And the thing what they are used to see
Right.
and to think, this is
Right.
a problem. We have to work much more on being awareness
Right.
all over the world, in every field. It really concerns every field. Doesn't matter,
Absolutely.
environment, everything. To treat each other, how to treat each other, how to treat gender-based. I mean,
Exactly.
yeah. Ourselves, we start with ourselves. I work also on myself, how to treat myself, how to think about myself, and I can see it everywhere. How people, the way they throw their trash on the street, I know exactly how they think about themselves, even. Yeah, so it starts really with ourselves. This is our root. It doesn't. We can discuss about how to change things also in screenwriting and stuff. This is important, but we actually really need to start with ourselves.
Absolutely,
Yes.
yeah. Until and unless internalizing of these issues are done within each and every one of us, it's very difficult for changes to happen over the night. Now I want to come back to Nepal again. Shivani, do you watch movies?
Oh my God, I think that's always at number one in my laser list.
Right? Hollywood, Bollywood, Nepali?
Everything.
Everything.
I have started like going Spanish, Iranian, Turkey,
Oh, wow.
Korean, everything, thanks to technology, of course.
Right. So what do you think? How are the issues that we are talking about reflected in our movie industry? And also the the other entertainment factors, TV also, like how do you think it's being done?
Well, I think my observation is no different from whatever is shared at this forum, and I'm very much privileged to be part of this very, very important panel. I believe, I said that it's no different from the observations just shared, and so I just don't want to repeat or, well, I mean...
Sound छ उहाँको तिम्रो पनि on गरेको छैन कि?
Okay, so I was saying my observations are no different from what has been shared so far in the panel. And why, let me go straight to the questions on why we're sitting here and what needs to be done. Maybe I think I could move a step forward with your permission. I think a deliberation, a discourse, conversations on what Rimaji just said about what we've thought and what we've been thinking was all right, is not all right, has become so important. We all, the fraternity, both the insiders and outsiders, need to come be at the same platform and try to discuss things in the nitty-gritty. Because especially, I came here to this auditorium towards the end of the earlier panel. And I came here certainly with so many observations of myself, those that were personal and those that have been professional. But having to get to understand the little from the panel that just ended before us.
Right.
I was really awe-stricken. Right, I was pretty awe-stricken because I think it's that particular conversation or part of that conversation was very much awakening for a person like me and maybe the stakeholder community. Because for a country like Nepal, which is at such a threshold or at a very, very crucial transition, I think we must already gear up and start looking at cinema and media with utmost seriousness. And when I say this, I don't only mean the cinema fraternity, but every stakeholder from policy levels to advocates and activists. Just to answer the simple question that Rimaji just answered, as to understand, basically, sensitize each other, share our experience, and know what is not right or not all right to be presented. Because cinema is one such powerful thing which holds the power to set, mold narratives, notions, and that too not within a community, not even limited to a family, but it holds the power to have this kind of impact across borders. Absolutely. And even across generations, right? Absolutely. So we should not be underestimating such a powerful tool like cinema. I think it would be wise for us to use this platform to set and to correct and to sensitize our society and set a better narrative which could lead towards the shaping and molding of perspectives, right? Because cinema matters, the representation made on screen matters a lot. Absolutely. And you cannot simply ignore or put it just like this cinema. Because as you've been saying, women so far, in everywhere you go, they've been portrayed mostly on a very passive and a secondary character or roles. What happens? What happens after that? For those 3 hours or so, people enjoy, they clap, they rejoice, they cry, they sob. But the impact is after that 3 hours. Because those very portrayal are impacting, or in fact, they are reinforcing the set beliefs and the narratives. Absolutely. And life becomes much more tough for the women back in the society. Similarly for men. Because, we're so used to seeing a larger-than-life character, strong, witty, very masculine kind of a male figure. But what happens in real life? The man certainly will have to, consequently, he'll have to battle or combat with those unrealistic challenges and expectation out of him, which is not every man's forte. Trust me, so much of mental health problems are a result of these larger-than-life characters. Absolutely. Maybe I grew up as a teenager, I always wanted Antonio Banderas kind of an image in my boyfriend. Now imagine how much of an impact that has in a girl like me, right? So these sort of things makes it important for the cinema fraternity to be more accountable, more responsible in the kind of work that they are delivering. So it's time they take it very, very seriously. And in a country or a context like Nepal, it's very important for them to ensure, because much of the storytelling in countries like Nepal are very much influenced by cultural norms and traditional roles, right? So it's so important, it becomes very important for filmmakers and people in the fraternity to see or ensure that they are accurately, the representation are accurate, and then it's diverse as well. Absolutely. And while we sit across and do this conversation, I feel proud. I should be thankful to NIFF and to you as well, that we are in a way contributing, or we will be contributing to a global dialogue towards inclusive media, strong media, and then and that of social justice as well.
Absolutely, Shivani, thank you. Actually, you brought up one issue that I always keep on talking about during my trainings also, And, the fact that men are ingrained to believe that they are strong. Even now, when I take trainings, when I ask young men, like young men who were not born when I started my job also, They are young men, but they were not born when I started my career, actually. I asked them, as you grew up, if you fell down, did it hurt or not? They said, yes, it hurt. Did you cry? No. We wanted to cry, but we were told not to cry. So boys don't have emotion. Men don't have emotion. They do. And if they weep, they're not supposed to weep. And so, as you said, to uphold the kind of this macho thing that they are taught, it actually gives them a lot of mental health issues, which actually has been ignored. And when we talk about gender issues, actually, these are all gender issues. You know, everything that deals with human being, men, women, transgender, the LGBTQI community, everybody, all human beings under the sun. You know, and I think that is something that needs to be looked into. Now, I'm just going to slip into Nepali for a couple of minutes and ask questions. हामी as a यो नेपाल इन्टरनेसनल फिल्म फेस्टिभलमा एउटा नौलो किसिमको टपिकमा कुरा गरिरहेछौँ नेपालको फिल्म इन्डस्ट्री र यहाँ जर्मनी र श्रीलङ्काबाट आउनुभएकोहरू पनि हुनुहुन्छ विश्वभरि नै कसरी लैङ्गिकता लिङ्ग र सामाजिक समावेशीकरणको कुरा मुद्दाहरू चाहिँ नि उठाइएको छ यी मुद्दाहरू के एकदमै सशक्त बनाउने खालले आएको छ या झन्झन पहिलाकै दक्यानुसी विचारहरू रूढिवादी परम्परागत नीतिहरूलाई अगाडि लिएर लगेको छ यदि लगेको छ भने त्यसले हाम्रो भावी पीडाहरूमा के चाहिँ प्रभाव परिरहेछ र अहिलेको फिल्म इन्डस्ट्रीले यसलाई कसरी सच्याएर अगाडि बढ्न सक्छौँ भनेर हामीले कुरा गरिरहेका थियौँ आज हाम्रो यो इन्टरनेसनल कम्युनिटी भएर हाम्रो सेसन अङ्ग्रेजीमै गर्ने फैसला भएको थियो तर अहिले म अब भेरी क्विकली म चाहिँ असाध्यै पङ्क्चुअल मान्छे तर ठाउँमा पङ्क्चुअल हुँदैन तर म कमसेकम मेरो सेसन चाहिँ नि मलाई दिएको समयमै म सिद्धाउँछु त्यसैले बिचमा क्वेसन आन्सरको लागि म खोल्छु यदि कसैलाई नेपालीमा प्रश्न सोध्न मन छ भने पनि सोध्नुभयो हुन्छ म translate गरिदिन्छु so we are going to open a very quick question answer session and after that we'll do a second round and we end again as I said with Ani's blessing and a beautiful voice so the session is open people are free to ask questions in either Nepali or English and Germany she'll understand even if I don't so I open up please
Namaskar मैले नेपाली
आफ्नो नाम भनिदिनु होला है
मेरो नीलकण्ठ मैले चाहिँ यो रिमाजीले जुन कुरा राख्नु अनि मैले अलिअलि बुझे अनुसार त्यसमा चाहिँ अलिकति मेरो असहमति राख्न चाहे हैन उहाँले धेरै पटक त्यो आइटम गीतको कुरा गर्नुभएको थियो हैन
हजुर हजुर
अब त्यो हाम्रो चलन भन्नुभयो मलाई त त्यो नेपाली चलन जस्तो लाग्दैन हैन यो चलचित्र भन्ने माध्यम नै हाम्रोमा सुरु भएको कति भएर हैन भर्खर आधा शताब्दी पुरा हुँदैछ हाम्रो माध्यम त होइन यो हैन हाम्रोमा त अहिलेसम्म क्यामेरा पनि बन्दैन
हजुर
हामीले जसरी चलचित्र बनाइरहेका छौँ अहिलेसम्म त्यो अरू ठाउँमा जसरी बनाइन्छ हैन त्यो प्रभावबाट बनाइरहेको हो अब मैले पछिल्लो समयमा 4-5 वर्ष यता मैले हेरेको चलचित्रमा तपाईँले भने जस्तो गीतै मैले देखाएको छैन होइन तपाईँले कस्तो खालको चलचित्र हेर्नुहुन्छ कस्तो खालको चलचित्रमा काम गर्नुहुन्छ हैन जस्तो हाम्रै खालको चलचित्रहरू पनि बन्न थालिसकेका छन् जस्तो चिसो मान्छे हैन पशुपति प्रसादै भनौँ अनि अब दुर्गा हैन काली भन्ने यस्तो चलचित्र पनि बनिरहेछन् हैन त्यहाँ त हामीले तपाईँले भने जस्तो त्यो बम्बईया पाराको त केही पनि देख्दैनौँ हैन अब त्यो कुन पारामा हामी बढी भिजेका छौँ कुन पारामा बढी काम गरिरहेका छौँ त्यसले पनि त्यो कुरा निर्धारण गर्छ होला है सबैलाई त्यही एउटै डालोमा हाल्न चाहिँ नमिल्ला अब जस्तो चलचित्रमा पारिश्रमिकको कुरा गर्नुभयो हैन त्यसमा समानता हुनुपर्छ भन्ने कुरामा त कुनै दुईमत छैन हैन तर यहाँले अब पर्दा समय कम हुन्छ पनि भन्नुहुन्छ हैन फेरि पारिश्रमिक पनि कम भन्नुभयो हैन त्यो पर्दा समयले पनि त पारिश्रमिक निर्धारण गर्ने होला हैन म त्यो बारेमा जानकार चाहिँ होइन हैन मलाई आफूलाई लागेको चाहिँ हैन जस्तो महिलालाई वस्तुको रूपमा प्रस्तुत गर्ने त हाम्रो चलनै होइन हाम्रो पुरानो कथाहरू हेरौँ हाम्रो न्यारेटिभ हेरौँ चाहे त्यो तपाईँको अब हाम्रो त मुख्य पर्व नै दसैँ हो हैन दुर्गा सप्तशती हेरौँ त्यो त पुरै देवीकै हो त्यहाँ त कुनै पुरुषको पूजै हुँदैन देवी पनि 9 थरीका दुर्गाहरूको पूजा हुन्छ नवरात्रिभरि त्यसपछिको ठुलो पर्व तिहार त्यो त दिदीहरूबाटै टिका थाप्ने हो अनि धनकी अधिष्ठात्री देवी हामी लक्ष्मीलाई नै मान्छौँ त्यसपछिको अरू पर्व सरस्वती हैन श्रीपञ्चमी त्यसमा सरस्वतीलाई मान्छौँ हाम्रो न्यारेटिभ त त्यो हाम्रो पनि फेरि यहाँ 2 थरीको छ त्यो गङ्गाको संस्कृति अलि फरक छ त्यहाँ चाहिँ अब सेकेन्डरी रूपमा प्रस्तुत गरिन्छ महिलालाई हाम्रो हिमालयको संस्कृति त्यो काश्मीरदेखि काठमाडौँदेखि लिएर कामाख्यासम्म हेरौँ हैन महिलालाई नै मान्ने हाम्रो स्वागत गर्दाखेरि पञ्चकन्या राखिन्छ पञ्चकुमारका पनि राखिँदैन हाम्रो हरेक सहरमा कुमारी हुन्छ अहिले पनि जीवित देवीको रूपमा मानिनुहुन्छ हैन अब त्यो अहिलेको समयमा त्यो कति उपयुक्त छ त्यसमा बहस गर्न सकिएला तर त्यो चाहिँ अब महिलाहरूलाई पूजा गर्न योग्य हुन्छ भनेर नि
प्रश्न के यहाँको प्रश्न चाहिँ
हैन हाम्रो चाहिँ उहाँले भन्नुभयो नि उहाँले भनेको कुरामा चाहिँ म अलिकति सहमत हुन सकिनँ। हाम्रो चाहिँ त्यस्तो प्याट्रियार्कल हाम्रो सोसाइटी चाहिँ होइन होइन। अब चलचित्र बनाउने यो न्यारेटिभ चाहिँ अहिले हाम्रो न्यारेटिभमा बिस्तारै बिस्तारै चाहिँ बन्दैछ। तर अहिले जुन बढी प्रभाव जुन न्यारेटिभको छ नि त्यो हाम्रो न्यारेटिभ होइन। मैले भन्न खोजेको त्यति मात्रै हो। अब यसमा तपाईँको विचार के छ?
यहाँको शुभ नाम के भन्नुभयो सर? नीलकण्ठजी, I wish we have more audiences like you है। पहिलो कुरा त आई थिङ्क नेपाली चलचित्र हेर्ने अडियन्सको चेत तपाईँले अहिले जे प्रसङ्ग उठाउनु भयो त्यतिको लेभलमा मात्रै पुग्यो भने पनि हामी साँच्चै नै सोसाइटीलाई अझ बेटर फिल्म्स, सिरियस फिल्म्स एन्ड आर्टिस्टिक फिल्म्स डेलिभर गर्न सक्छौँ जस्तो मलाई लाग्छ। थ्याङ्क यू यहाँले प्रसङ्ग उठाउनु भयो। हामीले जुन मुद्दाको यहाँ उठाइरहेका छौँ त्यो मुद्दा मैले भोगेको या म पार्ट भएको होइन कि ओभरअल सिन्स आई एम रिप्रेजेन्टिङ द नेपाली फिल्म इन्डस्ट्री, म ओभरअलमा नेपाली फिल्म इन्डस्ट्रीमा के प्र्याक्टिसमा भइरहेको छ भन्ने कुराको मात्र हामीले यहाँ चर्चा गरिरहेका छौँ। तपाईँले भन्नुभए जस्तो हो नारी प्रधान चलचित्रहरू बन्नेका छन्, बन्दै नबनेका होइनन्। अझ साँच्चै नै भन्ने हो भने केही दशक अगाडिसम्म पनि जहाँ चाहिँ इनिसियल फेज अफ नेपाली मुभी इन्डस्ट्रीको कुरा गर्ने हो भने त्यस बखतमा आमा, भाउजू अनि छोरी, प्रेमिका नै मुख्य भूमिकामा हुने चलचित्रहरू बन्थे। तर विडम्बना विथ चेन्जिङ टाइम अहिले जुन चलचित्रहरू अगाडि आइरहेका छन्, तपाईँले भन्नुभयो जस्तो चलचित्रहरू कमर्सियल रेकर्ड डाटाबेस हेर्नुहुन्छ भने कमर्सियल्ली आर्टिस्टिक वेमा बनेका चलचित्रहरू, सिरियस मुद्दाको उठान गरेका चलचित्रहरू र विशेष गरी महिला प्रधान चलचित्रहरूले राम्रो व्यापार गरेका छैनन् मेरो अन्डरस्ट्यान्डिङ अनुसार, मेरो बुझाइ अनुसार। सो मैले उठाएको प्रसङ्गहरू चाहिँ तपाईँले मलाई प्रश्न उठाउनु भयो कि तपाईँले कस्तो खाले चलचित्र हेर्नुहुन्छ, आइटम गीतको कुरा गर्नुभयो भन्नुभयो भएन हो। तपाईँले अघि जति पनि चलचित्रको नाम लिनुभयो मैले ती सबै चलचित्र हेरेको छु किनकि म चलचित्र क्षेत्रमै आबद्ध छु। अन टप अफ इट म आफै पनि चलचित्रको विद्यार्थी हुँ। त्यो कारणले गर्दा तपाईँले भन्नुभएका चलचित्रको बारेमा मलाई चेत चाहिँ छ। तर यहाँ उठाइएको प्रसङ्ग चाहिँ हामीले समग्रमा समस्याहरूको कुरा गरिरहेका छौँ। यो समस्या महिलाको मात्र नभएर पुरुषको इन्भल्भमेन्टमा सुधार गर्न सकिने पक्षहरू भएका कारणले गर्दा यो मुद्दाको चाहिँ मैले उठान गरेको छु। न कि म ती खाले चलचित्र अथवा मैले त्यस्ता खाले काममा म संलग्न छु भन्ने हेतुले होइन कि मैले देखेका, मैले यो 10 वर्षको करियरमा मैले देखेका, मैले भोगेका र हामीले वर्क गर्नुपर्ने विषयहरू चाहिँ सायद यो हुन् है भन्ने हिसाबले चाहिँ मैले विषयको उठान मात्र गरिदिएको। थ्याङ्क यू यहाँको कन्सर्नको लागि।
थ्याङ्क यू रिमा। अरू अब हामी 2-3टा अरू प्रश्न।
Hello, my name is Sujan Sai, and I'm so thankful that Namrata ma'am have just included about the male also. We have also so many of worries, trauma, but that doesn't indicate in Nepali movies. My question to all the panelists: if the panelists have mentioned actresses are indicated as objectified, many movies include scenes that focus excessively on females' character appearance, clothing and sexuality rather than her skills, talents and character development. Are there any notable initiatives or movements within the film industry aimed at addressing and combating gender stereotypes?
एकछिन अलि बिस्तारै पढ्नु पर्यो, बुझिएन। अलि त्यो माइक अलि टाढा राखेर बिस्तारै बोल्ने।
Okay.
बिस्तारै बोल्ने, अलि एक्सप्रेस ट्रेन भयो।
Sorry, I feel so nervous
so
to talk.
You know, it's good to hear the josh from you.
Okay.
Come on.
As the panelists have mentioned, actresses are indicated as objectified. Many movies include scenes that focus excessively on females' character appearance, clothing, or sexuality rather than her skills, talent, or character development. Are there any notable initiatives or movements within the film industry aimed at addressing and combating gender stereotypes? And in your opinion, what role does the film industry play in shaping societal attitudes toward gender roles and identities? Thank you.
Okay. That's a brilliant question. I guess we'll take it in parts.
I couldn't hear what he was saying.
His question is, you want to say? Why don't you address?
I think she would be the best to answer. I think so. Yeah, see?
I do have the mic. Okay. What do you say your name is? Crystal. That's a beautiful name, Crystal. Thank you for the question.
Beautiful dancer.
Oh, are you? Okay. While Ani will do her singing blessings part, would love to see your dance at the end of the show before we wrap her, hopefully, if we get the time. Yes. Is Karim interested to answer it? Or okay, I'm going to talk on base of Nepali films. You want it in English or Nepali, whatever? ओके ओके ल नेपालीमै हामी चर्चा गरौँ न त हैन नेपाली चलचित्रको कुरा गर्ने हो भने तपाईले जुन भन्नुभयो नेपाली चलचित्रमा महिलाहरूलाई अब्जेक्टिफाई गरिन्छ अथवा सेक्सिजमलाई एकदम पिकमा पुर्याइन्छ भन्ने कुरा चाहिँ एज वी डिस्कस हामीले यो प्यानलको सुरुवाती चरणमै के भनेका थियौँ भने चलचित्रहरू और एनी फर्म अफ आर्ट इज द रिफ्लेक्सन अफ सोसाइटी हैन हाम्रो चलचित्रमा ती चीजहरू देखाइएको छ मेजोरिटीमा है नीलकण्ठजी सबै चलचित्रमा भनेको हैन ल मेजोरिटीको कुरा गरेको ओ हामी त्यही विषयमा हजुर
नीलकण्ठजी एकछिन नीलकण्ठजी
हो
अरूको पनि प्रश्न एड्रेस गरौँ हस् ठीक छ
हो तपाईले भन्नु भए जस्तो
नीलकण्ठजी एकछिन प्लिज एकछिन अरूको पनि प्रश्नको जवाफ दिउँ
हो तपाईले भन्नु भए जस्तो प्र्याक्टिसमा भएर आएका चिजहरू हैन मैले अघि पनि जोड्न चाहे कि हामीले चलचित्रमा अथवा एनी फर्म अफ आर्ट हैन एउटा अन्डरस्ट्यान्डिङ र भनाइ नै छ नि टु अन्डरस्ट्यान्ड दि कल्चर एन्ड सिभिलाइजेसन अफ एनी सोसाइटी कुनै पनि समाजको कला र त्यहाँको सिभिलाइजेसनको बारेमा बुझ्नको लागि चाहिँ त्यहाँको आर्ट हेर्यो आर्टको फर्म हेरे हुन्छ अरे के प्रोग्रेसिभ कतिको प्रोग्रेसिभ छ भनेर हैन किनकि मेरो बुझाइमा यस्तो हजुर
भाइ मेरो बिन्ती छ हजुरलाई अहिले उहाँ बहिनीले उहाँ भाइको प्रश्नको उत्तर दिइराख्नु भएको छ हजुरले आफ्नो मन कुरा पछि राखौँ न ल
तपाईँ नीलकण्ठजी तपाईँ र म अहिले यो सेसन पछि छुट्टै बसेर कुरा गरौँ ल अहिले चाहिँ मैले क्रिस्टलको एन्सर दिएँ है
होइन ठिक छ नीलकण्ठजी एकछिन प्लिज आई रिक्वेस्ट यु बिङ द मोडरेटर विल कम ब्याक टु यु लेटर अन Rima, please answer Krishal's question.
So, Krishalji, मैले के भन्दै थिएँ भने सो कुनै पनि आर्टको फर्म चाहिँ आर्ट इज द रिप्रेजेन्टेसन और रिफ्लेक्सन अफ द सोसाइटी हाम्रो सोसाइटीमा जे चिजहरू प्र्याक्टिसमा भइरहेको आएको छ हैन त्यसको मान्यता यो होइन कि सोसाइटीमा प्र्याक्टिस हुँदै आएका सबै चिजहरू सही नै छन् भनेको होइन अभियसली सुधार गर्नुपर्नेछ र त यस्ता खाले प्यानल डिस्कसनहरूको आयोजना गरिएको छ नि त हैन तर आर्ट चाहे त्यो चलचित्र होस् या अन्य फर्म अफ आर्ट त्यो सबै सोसाइटीको रिफ्लेक्सन हो त्यो हाम्रो सोसाइटीमा हुँदै आएको प्र्याक्टिस हो तपाईले भन्नुभए जस्तै
नीलकण्ठजी आई रियली रिक्वेस्ट तपाईले डिस्टर्ब गर्नु भएन यसरी यो पनि राम्रो यो एकदमै
महिलाहरूले आफ्नो लागि बोल्दाखेरि दुई चारजना पुरुषहरू यसरी नै बोलिरह हुन्छन् हैन आफ्नो हक अधिकारको लागि बोल्दाखेरि त्यही भएर दाइ तपाईँ एकचोटि चुप लाग्नु ल प्लिज त्यो चाहिँ अब यताबाट पनि आइसक्यो उताबाट बोलिरहनु भएको छ त
होइन तपाईँको त्यो कुरा पछि डिस्कस गरौँला म अहिले रिक्वेस्ट गरिरहेको छु तपाईँ शान्त बस्दिनुहोस् है अरूको पनि गरिन्छ
दिस इज द स्टेरियोटाइप
यही स्टेरियोटाइप तपाईँले एकदम पुष्ट्याउनु भएको छ आजको यो किन हामीलाई कार्यक्रम चाहियो भनेर इट्स ओके रिमा तपाईँको सक्यो तपाईँले जस्टिफाई गर्न सक्नुहुन्न तपाईँ शान्त बस्दिनुहोस्
एन्ड लिसन टु हर नो
हैन ठिक छ म तपाईसँग विचार विमर्श गर्नको लागि तयार छु नीलकण्ठजी तर यो सेसन पछि गरौँ किनभने तपाईका अलावा अन्य साथीहरू पनि यहाँ धेरैजना हुनुहुन्छ जो यही डिस्कसनको लागि यहाँ उपस्थिति जनाइरहनु भएको छ सो आई डेफिनेटली वान्ट टु सिट डाउन एन्ड टक विथ यु नीलकण्ठजी मलाई त्यसमा केही पनि समस्या छैन क्रिसल कमिङ ब्याक टु यु तपाईँले जुन चलचित्रमा जस्तो खाले पोर्ट्रेल हुन्छ नेपाली चाहे त्यो नेपाली होस् अब अहिले यहाँ कुरा सुन्दाखेरि लुक्स लाइक इट्स अ ग्लोबल इस्यु हैन त्यो कारणले महिलाहरूलाई जसरी पोर्ट्रे गरिन्छ त्यो चाहिँ समाजमा महिलाहरूलाई कुन स्थानमा राखिएको छ त्यही चिज रिफ्लेक्टेड हुने हो कि होला चलचित्र क्यानभास भएको कारणले गर्दा ठुलो पर्दा भएका कारणले गर्दा केही चिज अलिकति लार्जर देन लाइफको वेमा प्रेजेन्ट गरिन्छ होला डेफिनेटली हामी रियल लाइफमा आइटम गीतमा नाच्दै हिँड्दैनौँ तर त्यसको त्यो एउटा
So can we hold the
what is the issue?
तपाईले उहाँलाई बोल्न नदिएर पाउनुहुन्न उहाँको आवाज रोकिदैन तपाईँ चुप लाग्नुहोस् प्लिज
Do you want to tell?
Yeah.
Do you want to tell?
Okay. Any other questions? सकेको हो तपाईको? Krishal will come back to you.
Can she have her voice?
Yeah. Can she have a voice? Can you give her a voice?
Who is he to give her the voice?
I mean, exactly. Can you keep quiet and behave yourself?
Thank God I'm the
Mr.
speaker
Neetam?
for the day.
This is not done. Okay, तपाईं अब ठिकै छ शान्त बस्दिनुहोस् पोलाइट भएर कुरा गरिरहेको छु पोलाइटनेसमै बस्न दिनुहोस्
This is the representation of how exactly women are being treated in our
and
society.
why this session is needed. And this is the reason why we had this session. So at least bear with us and listen. If you cannot listen, please walk out. I'd like to now request, any more questions?
Can I add?
Yeah, okay, sorry,
Yeah.
Obiya.
धेरै धन्यवाद मेरो नाम मारिया
Michelle
हो
will,
I'm
Rima
one
will
of the
come back.
jurors and it has been such a privilege to come to the NIFF and see the incredible quality of the submissions, but it's not only the quality, the range of topics that has been, and I have to say that this goes to both the male and female directors that have touched upon topics that could be quite difficult to tackle, from expectations to female, to menstruation, to motherhood, to heritage issues. I'm so impressed, and for me coming back to Nepal now after 30 years away, I feel there's a wave of optimism coming through the Kathmandu Valley.
It does.
And since we are here thanks to the NIFF, I wanted to ask you, what role do you think that film festivals can have to lift up also not only the movies that go through the more commercial mainstream, but lift up the really important voices that try to put a different light on issues in society? Thank you.
Thank you. Would you like to start? Nepal, NIFF. Oh, you're focusing on NIFF?
Yeah,
Or
she-
international festivals in general?
I think she made a comment.
Yeah, what could be the role of international festivals such
International
as the
film
NIFF to lift
So-
up?
exactly.
And if I might add one thing that Karen said, this Bechtel test that she mentioned, it's a very interesting test that you can put on any movie that we either watch or take part in to see if it passes or not. And if it doesn't pass, it's a bad thing for feminism and for women empowerment. Thank you.
Okay. So who wants to take this?
Yeah, she should.
So it's basically how can international film festivals like NIFF do to bring out such issues more. So I'm glad we have brought out this issue, you know, and there's been a live demonstration also, which is good actually.
Right, if you allow me to answer
Yes,
this
please.
question, I think any forum that allows the world or various communities to come together, especially the people, like-minded people and people who are like moving towards a similar destination, and especially when it is the creative sides, I think that there couldn't be anything better than those sort of forums. So I believe forums like these, NIFF or any sort of international film festivals for Nepal, and also to the participants who come to Nepal for festivals like this, it works both ways in a win-win situation, because Nepal on the one hand has to offer so much through the windows of its cinemas, the creative heads that are working around. And note this, I think we need to applaud the film industry in Nepal a lot, because they have been able to carry forth a legacy despite so many odds. Trust us, the limitations are like Herculean, but despite that, the efforts they have made and come this far, that should be lauded. And they have passed a lot of societal, political changes. And then having been placed in a very interesting geography is another perk for Nepal. So there is so much for Nepal to offer to the international audience, both creatives and non-creatives, for all these various virtues they have. So I think the international community can benefit from all the creative products that we can showcase, and also from the heritages that we have spread across the world, country. And on the other hand, for Nepal, this becomes important because it's at a very important transition. And then there is a very intensive, influence of the neighboring film industry in Nepal, which I think were reflected in course of our deliberations. So it's a big industry under the shadow under which Nepal's film industry is thriving. So in this scenario, when you get to have a window in your courtyards to see the international technological advancements, the narratives that they are trying to place on the very stories and experiences that we also share commonly, and the creative angles that they get to put, and then the issues that are raised, which in one way or the other we can relate. I think it's a blessing, and it's a plethora of opportunity for the Nepali side as well.
Yeah, thank you, Shibani.
Thank you. I would like to add up to that. Welcome back after 30 years. I got to know you got back in Nepal after 30 years. I think when it comes to international film, the major thing that we can do is empower women and invite them for the participation. Exactly. You just witness how we are silenced when we try to voice ourselves, but then we are trying on our behalf. The other thing of empowerment when it comes to creativity and art field is when it comes to the roles behind off-screen roles, I'm talking about be it be production, be it be scriptwriting, be it be editing, there are lesser number of women involved. So obviously, the portrayal of women on films will be stereotypical. So we need to come out of that. For that, we need the participation. We need to, if only we can exchange participation, we can learn about how things are working on other part of the world. And I'm sure NIFF is doing its part on its own. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rima. You are true, actually. And I think I also wanted to share with you, in the international film festivals like NIFF and others, I think there should be more advisors and also on the board and advisory board and, you know, like organizing committee. And for that, actually, I want to thank KP Pathak, because he and I didn't know each other, and I'm completely new to the, you know, film industry, although I love films and I watch it. But he started looking for people who can come to his advisory board, who can make a change, you know. And then when he first approached me, I said, what? Nepal International Film Festival? I'm not sure. If it was South Asia Film Festival, maybe, you know. But then I went and met him. Yeah, really, I even told him that. Then I went, and when he explained to me what actually he wanted, and then later on when I suggested we should have one international panel where people talk about this issue and the issue goes internationally, you know. He agreed, and he actually went out of the way to help me find. And I said, see, I don't know the film industry. Make sure you find one dynamic personality from there who will agree to come. And we have Rima here. So, and I'm glad everybody others accepted. After Ani, then I think Dil has been wanting to.
You know what? Whatever happened just earlier is how the society reacts to women who are so beautiful and so empowered and vocal. They get intimidated. And they'll come up with saying that, how dare you, so pretty and so empowered and so intelligent, you know, how talented you are, how dare you. So I think, let's say, I'm so sorry that they feel like that. It's a compliment for you. You're so beautiful that somebody wants to catch your attention more frequently.
Thank you, Ani, for that. And also, actually, it gave fuel for our session. Thank you, actually. So, Dil wanted to add something to Krishal's question.
Yeah,
also.
it's a very interesting question that made me think a lot. One thing is that I see a pattern, generally speaking. I watch a lot of movies across South Asia, and the old stereotypical female being replaced by a more aggressive female who is also a lot like the male version that existed before. So we didn't like the hero to be so aggressive, so violent, and now our heroines, the heroes, are also sometimes a little like that. So whether there could be a discussion around that whether this is the whole idea of breaking a gender stereotype is something I want to kind of raise. Give an example to what you said. I was preparing, I was reading up on research papers and checking out some movies, recent movies, and what young women have produced in Sri Lanka. They have done tremendous work. They have changed the narrative in so many beautiful ways. There is an Indian serial that is very popular. Indian serials are popular, right, here and everywhere. So, in Pakistan, oh yeah, exactly. So, there is a male character, the lead, can cry. He's emotionally aware and in touch with the feminine side of himself. And he works and supports the female or the wife to become a better professional, and supports through family, fights with his own family, her own family, to create the space. When I talked to some of the Sri Lankan women covering cinema, this character came up. They said, you know what, that's the man we want to see. So it is about audience. This is how women want to see their male lead, perhaps. Yeah, not the atypical male lead that we have been seeing. That when you produce a movie, as you said, it's for largely the industry is run by men, and then also the advertising, the support system is also male. So you assume this is your audience. But there is another audience. So I'm learning from the Sri Lankan audience that this very unorthodox male character is popular not only because he can cry, but also because he resonates with the kind of men women want to see in their movies.
Yeah, like also. Actually, I have one. Yeah, sorry. Sorry, now. Yeah, it starts again with screen. We as the media professionals, and especially it starts with the screenwriters. We have to work much more on more sensitive approach to the topics. Also, especially when it's about criminal stories, which is mostly against women or children. It needs much more. It's just too rough. Yeah, there is a criminality, but there is no solution. There is no way shown how to protect them or how to deal with it or whatever. It's just very on the surface. Yeah, they don't go deep. There is no hint like any coaches or any activists or whatever, people who could help them. There's nothing provided as an information to help those, or even there is no hint for the audience to tell them this could trigger you. So be careful to what is it exactly about? How deep is the violence? How rough is it? Is it just slight violence against family members or whatever, whoever? Or is it really, brutal? Yeah, they're so different. I read about it's 290 different ways of showing violence in films and TV, and there must be much more like studies, research, how to approach them. Not just showing them or not even showing. There are also very subtle ways to explain it so detailed, which is mostly maybe even worse because people's mind is racing, and yeah, it's dangerous actually. And we need to start with the screenwriters, with our stories, with our awareness of media professionals, how to tell stories, and what we think, what we want to convey is shaping our reality. And what we see on TV and in film is not really our reality, not at all, mostly not at all, not at all. It's completely wrong. It's another life, it's not our reality. So, and what we show is worsening everything. And this is actually, I think, our main
I think it's
issue.
a very, very important point, I think. How to take maybe good and happy moments from films,
yes,
but
also focus on the positive on the
right.
solutions.
Right, happy and good moments from the film, but how to make sure you understand that there are certain things which are not reality, and how to also save yourself from some wrong incidents, violence or something that is portrayed in the filming. I think that's a very good point you brought, Karen. Thank you for that. Let's take one more question and then we go to the second round. Anjana.
One short question from
Namaste, it's me, Vikas from Pokhara.
Sorry, को बोल्दै हुनुहुन्छ?
म बोल्दैछु।
ल पछि बोल्नु। ओके हस् बोल्नुहोस् पोखराबाट आउनु भएको छ
नमस्ते इट्स मी
नाम
विकास
भन्नु
फ्रम
होला।
पोखरा
हजुर।
एन्ड वाम वेलकम टु टप प्यानलिस्ट होइन
हजुर।
सबै आफ्नो क्षेत्रमा अब्बल हुनुहुन्छ सबैलाई नमस्कार म छोटो भन्न चाहन्छु रिमाजीलाई पनि भन्न
प्रश्न सोध्नु होला,
चाहन्छु प्रश्न सोध्छु है त्यो त यो लैङ्गिकको
Speech-
बारेमा
speech नदिनुहोस्
लैङ्गिकको
है।
बारेमा अघि नै आएको थियो क्या आइटमको बारेमा बढी प्रयोग गरिन्छ म नेपाली चलचित्रको इमान्दार दर्शक हो हेरिरहेको छु उहाँले भनेको एकदम हुबहु हो त्यसका लागि हस्तक्षेपकारी भूमिका कसरी खेल्नु पर्यो भने निर्माताहरूलाई नि यस्तो आइटमको लागि प्रयोग गर्ने होइन यसले ब्याड इम्प्याक्ट गर्छ भनेर हस्तक्षेप गर्नु पर्यो है अनि अर्को कुरो म आइङ डोल्माजीलाई भन्न चाहन्छु यो तपाईँको त बुद्धत्व हो नि त यो त प्रेज वर्दी होइन आई एम ओभरवेल्म टु बी हियर होइन यो स्टेजमा छँदा हजुरले पनि यो बुद्धत्वको छ नि यो लिगेसी थ्योरीमा यो चलचित्रको यो लैङ्गिक सम्बन्धी कसरी कलात्मक तरिकाले अझ विश्वव्यापी रूपमा उजागर गर्न हजुरको के रोल हुन्छ अझै पनि भन्न चाहन्छु नमस्ते
Very nice question. Good. Anjana, why don't you also ask? हामी एकैचोटि लियौँ कि है एकैचोटि
I have a loud voice. I don't need a I am a woman and I have a loud voice so people can listen to me. Okay.
यो टेलिकास्ट पनि भइरहेछ
Okay. I know whatever you guys have said, you know, all of you, whatever you have said globally. I mean, there is a gender discrimination regardless of all the traditional practices and religious practices we have. There is gender discrimination, and I really hope also there was a man in this panel so that, you know, they could all see from gender issues. Gender is just not women.
Yeah,
you know,
of
it's
course.
all
Yeah, of
about
course.
men and women. So anyway, but I really, you know, it's like there's that whole discrimination gets replicated in the cinema. All the cinemas, regardless, only if it is like a docudrama or some kind of TV serial, then there is some kind of issue we can focus and do it. I mean, I have done it with human trafficking and sexual violence, and because it was done by a human rights organization, we could, you know, really see it from the human rights perspective, from women's perspective, what we experience. I think people really need to understand what we as women experience, not as how the norms and values are. And I think we really need to have cinemas which portray that. And that's the only way where you can really reach the masses. Because whatever we do, it's a very small audience we work with, not with a large, because cinema has a big audience. And that's where the gender issues as women face, not as how men see it is the norm or tradition, has to be shown. I think that's what I feel.
Thank you, Anjana, for sharing that. Okay, I think the last, Ani, you go first and then question.
Okay. I totally agree with you, Adar. At the end of the day, male or female, we are equally capable of, you know, enjoying our own rights and equally capable of addressing issues in whatever situation it is. But then somehow we've been like put in a box, you know, categorized and explained with the description saying that she's less capable, less intelligent, you know, less spiritual, or anyhow, whatever kind of but idolization is in a complete different level. So it's kind of like a hypocrisy, really, that we are in such society, we are practicing such culture where we idolize women as if the goddesses and all the, I mean, most powerful, we worship them, but at the same time, at the ground level, we treat them like, you know, as if they're object, you know. But anyway, our fight is against the hypocrisy rather than anything else in every aspect of life, you know, whether that is in the religious field or, you know, social field or political field, however you see it, always there is a hypocrisy that none of us accepts. None of us are agreeing to any of the hypocrisy. So our fight is against that, and let's try to really sincerely fight in a way, not in the violent way, but in a very intelligent and sensible way to address the issue. So I think we are all very, very capable of doing that in a nice way. Because as I said earlier, it's a human society issue, not just male or female, and I totally agree with you. And as I said earlier, sometimes men, our brothers, do feel intimidated when they come across some little vocal and very clear-minded women and capable and empowered, who doesn't ask for their empowerment to be, granted by somebody. Which I totally believe that there's no one who is supposed to give me the empowerment. I need to empower myself. And I am empowered. And equally as Rima Boini is a treat to see in our society. So I really, really celebrate her whenever I see her, whether that is on screen or on stage. And then ladies like this, it's source of my energy, I feel. When I sit with them, I don't know how much of a knowledge I carry, but what I wish I know in my life is to rejoice that womanhood, the power, the quality, the potential that we as women are blessed with is for everyone to be celebrating it rather than making an issue out of it. So, भाइको अघि फिल्मको कुरा गर्नुभयो म बुद्धको धर्म पथमा लागे हिसाबले मलाई लाग्छ Buddhism is not about limitizing in a community. It's an art of living. It's a wisdom that we all are inherently carrying. So just it's about enhancing that. मानव जातिले एउटा निहित गुण भित्र भएको कुरालाई उजागर गरेर त्यसलाई जिउने जीवन्त तुल्याउने एउटा कला या ज्ञान हो बुद्धको दर्शन भनेको त्यो समुदाय विशेषको पहिचान होइन हजुर त्यसैले कुनै पनि चलचित्रमा यदि त्यसमा करुणा मानवता हैन छ भने त्यो बुद्धको दर्शन हो त्यो भनेको हामी नेपालीले मात्र निकालेको चीज हो र संसार अन्य देशको होइन भन्न पनि मिल्दैन हजुर आजको दिनमा जसरी बुद्ध भारतमा जन्मियो भन्न साथै हामी पुरा आगो हुन्छौं त्यो गलत जस्तो लाग्छ त्यो एउटा भूगोलको हिसाबले हामीले आफ्नो भन्ने जुन एउटा गर्व गर्छौं त्यो कति हदसम्म ठीक हो मान्छु म पनि तर त्यो भन्दा पनि महत्त्वपूर्ण चीज हामी नेपालीले यदि बुद्ध नेपालमा जन्मेको भनेर गर्व गर्छौं भने उहाँको दर्शनलाई अनुसरण गर्न सिक्नु पर्यो त्यसपछि मात्र अलिकति बोल्नु भयो भने त्यो पनि बोल्दाखेरि प्रतिकार जनाउनु ठीक हो त्यो समाजमा चाहिन्छ पनि तर प्रतिकार जनाउने तरिका चाहिँ सधैँ हिंसात्मक हुनुपर्छ भने जरुरी छैन अघि जसरी उहाँ भाइले उहाँ रिमा बहिनीको विषयमा उहाँलाई धेरै नै नकार्नु भयो त्यो मलाई जहाँसम्म तरिका अलिकति सभ्य भएन भन्ने मात्र मेरो गुनासो उहाँ समय हेरी अनुकूलता हेरिकन तर त्यसलाई प्रस्तुत गर्दाखेरि उता भएका व्यक्तिप्रति अनादर नहोस् भन्ने चाहिँ सचेत अलिकति सभ्यता हामीले दर्शाउनु पर्छ भन्ने म मान्यता राख्छु अन्य कुरा त अब
I think in any patriarchal society, there is this existing thought process, we hold on to a thought process where women, the most conventional and traditional perspective about women is to be pretty, pleasurable, and easy to work with, right? But it's time to cut off those ties and make it a better world for next generation, and it's going to start from us. We are trying our part, and by gender, as ma'am mentioned earlier, here the fight is not against male. Here we are not talking about we want equal power or equal representation as the other gender. All we are talking about, if we are qualified, despite of who we are, be it male or female, we deserve the position or power that we deserve. That's all we mean. Thank you.
Thank you, Rima.
And also payment.
With that, we come to the end of the question and answer session.
Actually, we have one last question. Excuse me, ma'am. We have one last question.
Yeah, hello everyone. This is Maheshwara from Hyderabad. I'm a film festival consultant. We have seen many films made by women directors. I really appreciate they give you complete fullness for the film. Whether they make film with children or with relations with human beings or LGBT films or relations with women. But especially with Iran, when a woman director makes some film on controversial issues, she's been barred from the country.
Yeah.
She's not allowed to stay in the country.
Yeah.
Many directors have met who made films on LGBT issues. It's worldwide issues, not with any country. So every festival we try to see some films made by women from all over the world to be the part of the festival. Now, as an actress, how you feel comfortable in personal, professional life as an actress in your case, and as Mrs. Anila is in the spiritual line. The term spiritual line has circumstances, and she's more her freedom to do. And and especially films, people working with films,
Nabil Bank, Sangai Agi.
Writer, technicians, singers, dancers. The total genre is different.
Bravo Bank,
men or women.
a reason for your success.
But they need, as you say,
अत्तिस जडीबुटी युक्त कपाल झर्न नदिने नयाँ कपाल उमार्ने स्वीट जडीबुटी आयुर्वेदिक हेयर ऑयल.
Dance culture is divine. As a spiritual leader, does God give? She has used the
Nabil
music
Bank,
for
Sangai Agi.
promoting the Buddhism, translation, prayers. Same time, she has helped the society.
Bravo Bank,
School and
a reason for your success. 32 जडीबुटी युक्त कपाल झर्न नदिने नयाँ कपाल उमार्ने स्वीट जडीबुटी आयुर्वेदिक हेयर ऑयल.
That brings us to the end of our question. I am very particular about being very punctual. That's why now I move on to my last round, where I would like each of my speakers, just within a minute, please sum up. I'm going to start from Shivani on the reverse this thing, is if you wish and if you feel you've faced any sort of discrimination in your profession, and if you want to share, what is it? And otherwise, in general on today's topic, how should we move ahead? Just within a minute, please.
Well, discrimination certainly is rampant, and I know there wouldn't be any human being on this earth who hasn't had faced discrimination, but the manifestations may be of different nature. But however, I am a very positive looking, optimistic person, so I always look forward and try to see things, look at the resolution side, how we as individuals, as communities, and as nations can move forward by resolving all these malpractices. So first and foremost, sharing. Sharing is very, very important, and that comes from my experience, because since I have only a minute, I wouldn't want to elaborate on that. But if you are not able to stand up to those situations, because not everybody is empowered to do that, I think sharing helps a lot. You need to be confident and share about the issues that you've been confronting. And when things are like so huge in nature, relating to a fraternity like cinema itself, again, sharing in different forms helps a lot. And as to gender stereotype, I only see opportunities from this point of view, from this point of time, because if you want to challenge, break the barriers or obstacles of gender stereotypes from this moment on, this means you're only widening your scope and platform for bringing in more creativity, more innovations, more perspectives, more stories. Right? So I was saying, breaking gender stereotype barriers only means, widening your scope of opportunity. Because if you start to raise your voice, if you start thinking, about moving away from the stereotypes that are set, that would only help you widen the scope of opportunities you have. As filmmakers or members of the film fraternity, I believe that would only help you bring in more creativity, more innovations, more stories, more perspectives, right? And And I think as stakeholders and as a member of the film fraternity, it's high time, specifically to Nepal. I wouldn't want to say others because many are at various stages in this very journey that we've started right now. Because for communities and contexts like Nepal, I believe we should not only focus on the screen for beginning this very aspired and needed changes. You can work on the screen, focus on the portrayal of the characters, which again needs a lot of authentic portrayal, for which again you'll have to do a lot of researches and get that proximity with the community and issue you have. There's so much you can do. So this one point I want to point out is every member in the film fraternity in Nepal, I believe, a very major lagging is the depth of research that is done while they portray any issue. That's why, when you try to break a barrier, when you try to intervene an issue, if you do it the wrong way, you would ultimately end up reinforcing that very particular stereotype rather than, giving a new perspective or widening the perspective. So I think in Nepal's context, more research, more understanding of those communities is important. And lastly, I think they need to rise above just focusing, beyond the focus on screens, and then try to find out collaborations and partnerships outside the screen, have these sort of discourses among the film fraternity, and then also the activists, the advocates, journalists like us, or the policymakers, which I think ultimately will help, at least at the beginning, try to create a shift in the mindset. Because, initially, from whatever has happened today, it's so evident that there is a very, very dire need to intervene and change the mindset, because that's where the problem lies. I think that's all I can say now.
Thank you, Shivani. I think you wrapped up it very nicely. I want to move on to Karen. Sorry. Karen, I want to move on to you. Your mic, Tiksa? Okay, thank you.
I think that the most important thing right now, also in every field, but also especially in our area, is tolerance. So we need much more tolerance, and because intolerance leads to inequality, what we have, and equality leads the cardinal reason for war, and in the small matter is poverty in the age when we are old. It's all it derives from inequality. So I think this is our main thing.
Right. Thank you. As we move on, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you, Karen, very much. Dil?
I think we heard a lot of pain and defiance here itself, and this is very true. Because this industry represents the communities that we represent, right? And how we behave is also part of that. So we are all part of this community, and our experiences are drawn from that. And so you experience the collective pain and also the voices of defiance coming right from this space. But I also saw people holding the line. I saw it today. So what I'm trying to say is that when you have narratives, holding that line and making space for that alternative narratives, if you just go into this discussion only about stereotypes are many. It's not just about gender. It's so multiple, so very different. And in that, so how do we break that? If the discussion is on stereotypes and breaking that, or changing the narratives, then can we look for role models? And I think there are role models here. So we never really have that space for to promoting those people with voice and power and influence. And I also think when people look up to film stars or influencers, the whole idea is that you are supposed to be, in their eyes, a representative of something they may not become, but you are their eyes and soul. Perspectives are there in campfires. If you consider this a campfire, and the movie industry is also a campfire in that you continuously lose, if you continue to lose voices. And it's not again the binary of male, female. It's about those multiple voices, multiple communities that we are supposed to be representing in the movie industry. And you raised this issue, both of you, about the impact after the movie. So how do we ensure that the movie leaves a legacy of a memory, of transformative energy that is inclusive, that will help create a better place where we study the influence and reach of the industry, and also how we can have these multiple narratives, because that's authentic. That would be the authentic industry when all our voices are well represented.
Thank you, Dil. Thank you very much. Rima? No, I'm coming to her the last.
As I mentioned earlier that I have more than a decade-long experience of this entertainment field regarding Nepal, here in Nepal. I have seen and witnessed many things as I grew up in my career that I had no clue about whether they were wrong or right. It really took ages for me to understand about my right, about my voice, and about how to create a space for myself. I don't know how many of you are familiar about my professional career shifting from films to television. I have been doing more of TV shows these days rather than films. Since we are talking about gender issues today, I think I would love to mention this. Gradually, with changing time, I come to a realization that I prefer being a leader rather than supporting another being or character. So that is the reason I chose to do more of TV shows than dancing around the heroes. I prefer being a zeros. And talking about movies, yes, as Sivaniji, as Karen, and all of we talked about, art and movies definitely have a larger and huge impact on society than what we are assuming. It's not just about 2 hours, 1 hour time of a film, the overall time span of a movie. It does have an impact on youths, it does have an impact on society for a longer period of time. It definitely shapes up and molds the society. So it is up to us, especially the makers and people who are in media who have larger influence on society, but it is also the responsibility of an individual, I believe, because the empowerment, the realization happened when I started retrospecting and introspecting my own thought process, when I started questioning my own subconscious habits, which I got probably while growing up from my parents, or as traumas, as taboos, as social norms, or social practice, whatever you name it. We definitely have to make the change, but the change is going to happen only if we start from ourselves. I am doing my part. We all are here to talk about it today. I hope everyone feels the responsibility on themselves. Thank you.
Thank you, Rima. That's true. आज धेरै छलफल गरियो हामीले है र रमाइलो के लाग्यो भने जुन इस्युमा कुरा गर्न परेको थियो त्यो इस्युको ज्वलन्त उदाहरणै यहाँ आयो किन हामीले गर्न पर्यो त भनेर है किनभने एक किसिमको रिटोर्ट भयो रिबटल भयो हैन तर त्यो जरुरी त्यो भएको पनि मलाई एकदम खुसी लाग्यो के किनभने त्यसले हाम्रो सेसनको अथेन्टिसिटी र जरुरतलाई झन् बढी दर्शाइदियो हैन एक्चुअली I'm very happy that throughout this session, the reason for this session came out very clearly. And we had sharing from global perspective, and particularly we have a young heartthrob from Nepal who's done a lot in the movie industry, in TV anchoring shows, entertainment world and all. And, like in today's world, it's not just like yesterday's verbal attack or something that we saw today. There's also the digital world. I can only imagine how people like Rima and others get trolled, and the kind of things that comes in trolling, you know. So this is another very much stark reality of today's, you know, the stereotyped world, where digital world again is very bad on both men and women, all human beings. But look at what happened to Taylor Swift. That will not happen to any male singer, you know. So things like that, I mean, it is a reality of today. The retort we saw is a reality of today. I'm glad it came, but I think we also have to move ahead with the feeling that we start from us, and when we get to a place where we can make a change, we should do for it. So what I want to do before I move on to Ani is, I want to actually thank NIFF for getting me on the advisory board. You know, and I also want to thank KP. KPG had just come in and he's gone out again. I wanted him to hear this. I think he was very, very helpful. He understood exactly. He said, you do whatever you want, I'll help you, you know. And we have this session today. Now, so thank you very much. KPG, कति तपाईको नाम लिनु खाली बाहिर मात्रै गइरहनुहुन्छ. Thank you very much. And म तपाईको आउँछु एकछिन है एकछिन. अनि I just, before I move on to, I was just saying, this session has been wonderful, and I want to thank you for finding me. We did not know each other. You called me, we just had coffee together, and I said, why International Film Festival? How can I be there? But then when I listened to you, I came, and I'm happy I'm able to do this. You know, thank you so much. And before moving on to Ani, I'd be the last person to relate you to any refugee. You know, I started the whole program by saying Pride of Nepal. You know, but in that movie, when I saw the horse race and how your father yearned for it, and how you and your siblings actually found pleasure watching it, whether it was your forte or not, I don't know. You know, that made me think and just mention that in the inclusion issue, you know, this deprivation of the roots where you were, anyone was. You know, I was thinking of your forefathers, actually. But thank you. I mean, the way it came, you retorted, but believe me, that's not what I wanted. You are the pride of Nepal. You always will be. And I want to now move on. I've already thanked. I'm not going to speak after Ani. I would like you to share just very quickly on your observation of today and end with your beautiful voice so that everybody will be so happy. Thank you again, everyone, Sandhya, KPG, and the whole NIFF team.
Thank you. Thank you very much. The wrap-up is like the same thing. I mean, actually, I wanted to share this incident yesterday regarding the change. I witnessed a wonderful event yesterday where in our monastic system, the male gurus are avatari gurus, you know, the reincarnated beings are very highly regarded, so it's a very hierarchy system we belong to. Your sampradayik समुदायमा पनि यो उच्च नीचको यो स्तरहरू हुन्छ हाम्रोमा पनि महिला पुरुषको त्यो भेदभाव पनि प्रष्ट देख्न पाइन्छ. 20 years ago, when I started singing these spiritual songs, I was bombarded with criticism.
I bet.
Really. I was categorized, I mean, like labeled as if most corrupted nun. But yesterday, one Rinpoche, Avatari Gurule, he invited almost 1,000 people to witness his musical presentation on the पाठ पूजा पाठको त्यो पाठ गरिन्छ नि हामीले त्यो पाठलाई पुरा संगीतमय बनाएर उहाँले प्रस्तुत गर्नुभयो हो तर त्यसलाई हाम्रो समाजका the people in our community received with such a reverence, you know, like so much respect. And then at the same time, they could not ignore the fact that I was someone who started that. So kata nachahanda pani malai acknowledge गर्नै पर्ने भयो के उहाँहरूले पहिलो नै हाम्रो आनी छोइङ डोल्माजीले यो हाम्रो बुद्धका दर्शनहरूलाई यसरी सङ्गीतमय गरेर बुद्धको दर्शनलाई बुद्ध शासनलाई प्रवर्धन गरेका छ भन्ने खालको त्यो क्रेडिट चाहिँ मलाई दिइयो। तर दिँदै पनि त्यो हाम्रो लैङ्गिक भेदभावको महसुस हुन्छ, प्रदर्शन भइरहेछ। उहाँले बकाइदा त्यही स्टेजमा बसेर माइक लगाएर लाइटिङ गरेर होइन त्यो अझ मैले भन्दा राम्रो अझ स्क्रिनहरूमा त्यो लिरिक्सहरू सबै प्रस्तुत गरिएर गर्यो। तर 20 वर्षपछि भए पनि मैले त्यो परिवर्तन मैले साक्षात्कार गर्न पाएँ। मेरो आशयलाई बल्ल बुझियो है। सो दिस इज द चेन्ज, इट्स जस्ट अ म्याटर अफ टाइम। हजुर अब कहिलेकाहीँ बिचरा एज आई सेड अर्लियर द विक्टिम अफ दिस रङ पर्सेप्सन इन आवर सोसाइटी इज नट ओन्ली वुमेन, it's men equally. So let's hope for the best, for the better change, better world. But at the same time, I am very grateful for this experience. I want to say thank you very much to NIFF, all the team from NIFF, KPG. Thank you so much for making my film as the opening film. And Boini, you must be feeling really bored, impatient. I know that. But thank you. I'm very proud of you too, being very clear in her vocal, what she wants to say. So, अन्तमा सबैको जय होस् भन्न चाहन्छु। जय होस् तिम्रो मङ्गल होस्, जय होस् तिम्रो मङ्गल होस्, चित्त सधैँभरि कोमल होस्, चित्त सधैँभरि कोमल होस्। यति भन्दै बिदा लिन चाहन्छु। थ्याङ्क यू।
Such a heavenly voice. Wow. Komal rahos man. I wish everyone would extend peace and happiness. And thank you to our very brilliant speakers right here. And we get to see this kind of session only one day, once a year. That's webinars. And thank you
the reason for your success.
This event, women to speak about their own
जड़ी बूटी युक्त कपाल झरना दिने नयाँ कपाल मार्गी स्वीट्रीज जड़ी बूटी आयुर्वेदिक हेयर ऑयल।
Token of love to our wonderful speakers. May I request KP Pathak to come here on the stage. And I am taking this name with immense pride in an alphabetical order. So yes, KPG, please, your frame wahalai sadhanyavad hastantaran garidinu hola. A for Ani Choing Dolma. So I'm taking this name in an alphabetical order. After her, we have Dilrushi Handanuiti. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for having your time for us. After her, may I request Ms. Karin Angele. We get to know about the experience of women from European countries. Thanks to her for that. And now, film star Ms. Rima Visukarma. Bringing to you a very well-spoken person, Sivani Thapa Vasnat. Lastly, a very hard-working woman, social activist, and she has always voiced for equality regarding its male, female, and especially in terms of women who are doing really well. Thank you for applauding me also. I have to add that too. Yes, moderator Namrata Sharma. With this, we take group photo. If you like, then you can come forward. Having said this, don't forget to join our session tomorrow. And tomorrow is finale. We'll meet you at the finale at Civil Mall. I think we'll meet at around 3:30. See you. That's all for today.